Let me ask you something. Have you ever had a conversation go from zero to nuclear in 60 seconds flat? Like 1 minute, you're talking business, and the next, it feels like you're standing in the middle of a minefield with no way out? Like your employees red faced, your clients furious, your boss is firing off accusations, whatever. The heat is on, and you're right in the middle of it. And in that moment, one word from you can either calm the storm or it can blow it full on hurricane. You see, most managers who don't know any better, they throw gas on the fire without even realizing it. That makes it a difficult conversation. It makes it an uncomfortable conversation that leads to no resolution. But great leaders, they know how to flip the switch, cool the temperature, and turn chaos into clarity. And that's exactly what we're talking about today, how to de-escalate when emotions are running high. Welcome back to the Business Mechanic Show. I'm your host, Vaughn Sigmon, co-founder of Results-Driven Leadership, and today we're going to talk about one of the most critical make or break skills every leader needs in their toolbox, how to de-escalate when emotions are running hot. Now, before we dive in, do me a favor. If you're getting value from this show, hit the like button, subscribe, or share it with your network. And don't forget, you can grab a free copy of my book, The Roadmap to Difficult Conversation. The link's right there in the show notes. And also, if you want more resources and leadership training, check us out at rdltraining.com. That's Romeo Delta Lima Training.com. All right, so let's crank the engine on this topic. Let me set the stage. You know those moments when someone storms into your office or Zoom call, or you're having a performance review, you're talking about something with someone, or you're just working and minding your own business, and some person who, it could be anybody, the person you're speaking with, or somebody just comes slamming into your office. Well, they're not calm. They're not rational. They're angry. And they're definitely not curious. They want to unload on you. Often they want a solution, but the way they're approaching it cuts off your ability to solve anything. Or often what you do cuts off your ability to solve anything. I mean, they went to 11 with their emotions, and most managers will go right there with them. They'll fight fire with fire. It's so obvious they're angry, they're hurt. Maybe they're embarrassed. Something's going wrong, and they're at their peak emotional level. Or hell, sometimes all of those things are happening at the same time. And if you're not careful, their emotion is going to trigger yours. And that's what we need to talk about today. The fact that you need to not be mirroring them, but them mirroring you, which requires that you don't be triggered. And you can't trigger them either. You want to be as cool as the other side of the pillow, which, of course, easier said than done. The fact that you're listening to this means you likely have had one of these situations, or maybe you're anticipating one, or maybe you're not having conversations because you anticipate it. Because when you're in moments like this, it's like standing next to a fire with a can of gas in your hand. One wrong move, and you're both going to be engulfed, and we must avoid that. Your job as a leader is, please God, don't light that match. Your job is to be the thermostat, not the thermometer. The thermostat that sets the tone of the room. You have to get control of this and not participate in the high levels of emotion. Let's first talk about why emotions spiral out of control. Let's break this down scientifically for a second. When emotions run high, the amygdala, the brain's alarm system, takes over. Rational thought, gone. Logic, no such thing. Everything feels like a threat in the other person's brain. Even neutral feedback, even if you're talking calmly, can sound like an attack. We're going to talk about how to say things that aren't going to trigger them and sound like an attack in a minute. So in these cases, if you meet their heat with your own, boom, you got a conflict explosion. You're in an argument, which we all know no one wins in an argument. It's only damage. Here's what you need to do. Think about this. Slow your breath. Lower your tone. Stay composed. If you see this coming and you're prepared for it, you need to be prepared all the time for it because you're not always sure when it's coming. But when you see it, when you see signs of it, you've got to trigger yourself not to match their heat, but to calm yourself. You need to calm their nervous system by calming your nervous system because emotions are contagious. High emotions are contagious and calm emotions are contagious. And this is the psychology of calm authority. When you stay grounded in chaos, you send a powerful signal. I'm safe. I'm rational. I'm stable. I can fix this. I can take care of this for you. You can come talk to me and we'll find some solutions together. That's when your influence kicks in. And that's exactly when their defenses come down. And they open their ears. And they start listening. And you can start solving. But there's a playbook for this. There's a playbook for de-escalation. When you see conversations going hot, going south, here's the playbook. And this is what I want you to walk away with today. First, when you see it, recognize it. Do a pattern interrupt, knowing that your natural instinct is fight fire with fire. You can't do that. When you see it, remind yourself, lower your tone. Speak softer than usual. You need to bring it down a little bit. Say it really calmly. Take the emotion out of your face. Look curious, not mad. Pay attention to that. It's those subconscious signals that relate safety. And then, as you're doing the pattern interrupt, name the emotion. Name the emotion you're seeing from this person. Sounds like this has been weighing on you for a while. Sounds like this is really bothering you. Wow, I can see you're really heated about this. Let's talk. Help me understand what's going on from your side. I want to get this fixed for you or help you feel better about it. And use silence intentionally. Don't rush. Don't get into a race to get this over with. Give them space. Give yourself space. Breathe. Take a moment and reconfigure yourself to be the calm leader, which sounds really simple, right? But this is where most managers screw it up royally. They fall into the triggers. They say things like, calm down, which is very condescending, or you're just overreacting, which is invalidating what they're saying. Don't do that. You're taking this all the wrong way, which is very dismissive. Those are the common responses or some variation of those. Avoid those at all costs. You're not going to help anything. Instead, replace those phrases with a couple new ones. And when you do that, congratulations, you're not going to pour any kerosene on the fire. So instead, let's take a breath, Sam. You got my attention. Let's take this one step at a time. Tell me more. What's happened? See the difference? Instead of saying, hey, Sam, you need to calm down. You're way overreacting to this. You say, hey, listen, Sam, you got my attention, man. Let's break this down. Let's take it one step at a time. Tell me more. One escalates, one regulates. Thermostat. And one of my favorite experts on this, Jefferson Fisher, also has a technique that you might want to pay attention to. Here's his tool. When somebody oversteps the boundary, and maybe even during the height of their emotion, insults you, they're attacking you. Well, you don't want to make things worse. You want to not respond or react to what they just insulted you with. You want to get your breath, calm it down, lower yourself and say, wow, that was really unkind. Is there a conversation we can have that maybe will leave out some of the threats? Let's talk respectfully here, okay? I'm willing to do it with you. See the tone, see the emotion. When you do that, that does three things. It identifies the behavior, their behavior. It sets a firm, respectful boundary. And it gives them the choice to either re-engage the right way or not. But we're not going to have a conversation with you yelling at me. That's not going to accomplish anything. Because when you pause, you need to count to like 5 in your head. And let the silence do the heavy lifting. It's amazing how just looking at them for a few seconds without saying a word, they'll almost always apologize. Oh, man, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. You don't have to ask for an apology. They'll give it to you just through your silence. Try it. I think you'll be really impressed how people normally react, because people will absolutely self-regulate if you give them the room, and silence gives them that room. Now, here's another important part of all this: the power of ratio control. This is the pro move. Remember the 70-30 ratio. You listen 70% of the time. You talk 30% of the time. You listen to them first before you start responding. You can ask questions. You want to get all the information you can, but you cannot respond with any kind of solution. Just keep listening. Don't lecture. Ask, then listen. Reflect. Think about it. Make sure you've got the full picture. Then you can respond. It's so common in managers who not learn these techniques, how they could just make things so much worse. Unknowingly, unintentionally, they just don't have another tool like I'm sharing with you today. So, another example, you seem really frustrated about what happened in that meeting. I want to understand more. Walk me through what hits you the hardest. What's really bothering you? Then shut up. Let them know. You're not fixing, you're witnessing. You're not fixing, you're listening. And that alone lowers their temperature. This allows them to drain their emotion. When you ask and listen and not lecture, which is, by the way, very often the way arguments are created, and like I've said, I think 3 times now, no one wins arguments. Only losers in that. So let them get it off their chest. Let them drain that energy. That's one of the keys to this. Listen, listen, listen. Keep grabbing for more of the emotion. And the more emotion you grab and bring to you, it's almost uncanny how it lowers their emotion. And very important, make sure you get the full picture. Don't jump to any conclusions. Be patient. That's hard. You got stuff to do. This can be them just whining again. But you've got to see it as a valuable asset to your team. And whether they're a great performer, average performer, or bad performer, you need to go through this exercise because you want them to leave this room with a positive mindset. So don't be insulted. It's super hard. Don't respond in a way that will escalate or be condescending to them. That just blows things up even worse. You're in control. And by the way, they don't make you get mad. They don't make you get angry and respond in a way that's not going to be very productive. I'll put it that way. You make you get mad. So keep that in mind. You must control you. That's what you're in control here. And by you controlling you, because that's contagious, they will get in control of themselves. But if you respond like they're responding, you're not going to get anywhere. Keep your head. Just picture this. I work with a lot of sales teams, and picture your top sales rep comes storming into the office after a change in the bonus or the commission structure. Not uncommon. And they feel really blindsided, maybe even betrayed or screwed. And an old school manager might respond like, "Oh, you're just getting emotional. It's not that big a deal. You're going to make the same amount of money. You just didn't pay attention." Or you can say, "Wow, I can see that hit you hard, Samantha. Let's slow down and talk this through. Tell me what you're thinking and how you're processing this." Get them talking. That's the key to this. Get them talking. Drain that energy. You want to ask questions. Why? Who? What? Tell me more. Share with me. How? How does this happen? Open-ended questions. And as many questions as you can think of to get all the information you can before you ever explain anything away. Listening is the weapon of de-escalation. Now they're seeing. Now they feel like they've been heard. They can breathe. They're not being dismissed or minimized. And you'll get them calmed down to where now you can actually talk and help them through this. That's your role as a leader. And bonus, once you get them de-escalated, you've listened to them first. Now they're in the mood to listen. And you can start working on a solution or an explanation or something that's going to help them get through this. There's a psychology of calm authority. And here's the kicker. You can be assertive without being loud. You can be assertive without being aggressive. You can be very direct without creating drama or negative emotions on somebody else. You can be honest and straightforward without hostility. And when you're able to master this, you become the leader people respect in the storm. They don't follow you because you're the loudest. They follow you because you're the one who keeps them steady. You're the problem solver. You're the person they can come to for help. Help takes on many different definitions. But be that person. Be that person they're willing to come talk to and share their frustrations, even especially in a heated moment. So the takeaway. Here's the takeaway I want you to have from today. The moment someone gets emotional, you see it happening, don't match their energy. Match their humanity. Understand where this is coming from. And utilize your emotional intelligence to understand they're not mad at you. This isn't about you. This is about a situation that has got them upset. Maybe you have not explained something properly. Maybe somebody else confused them. Maybe there's a million reasons why they are essentially mad. And then try these lines next time it gets messy. Try these lines the next time things get messy. Okay, Sam, let's take a breath here. What's weighing on you the most right now? You've got my attention. Then pause and let that silence do the heavy lifting. Let your calm reset the thermostat in the room. That's what real leadership looks like, especially when things get messy. So in wrapping it up, that's it for today. Thanks for listening to the Business Mechanic Show. And remember, if this brought value to you, like really good value, you learn something from this is something you want to go take and apply and get better at, please like this podcast, subscribe to the podcast, share it with someone you think might be able to benefit from this. And please, all these techniques are in my book, The Roadmap to Difficult Conversations. Download that thing. The link's in the show notes. And please, if you're serious about leveling up as a leader, head over to rdltraining.com. That's Romeo Delta Lima. Easy for me to say. Romeo Delta Lima Training.com. We've got the tools, we've got the training, we've got the coaching that will take you from manager to true leader. And until next time, keep leading, stay calm, keep learning, take control, and keep driving those results.